Hi everybody, today we are going to practice reading different meters and time signatures. So quickly we're going to review what is meter and what are measures and what are time signatures, and then we'll get on to our practice. So first we have meter. Meter is the music term for how many beats are in each measure. The beats are organized by strong and weak beats. A measure is a short section of music separated by bar lines. So if you look down here, I have 3 measures that I wrote down. The bar lines are these vertical lines that separate the notes into short sections called measures. Now it says that the meter is organized by strong and weak beats. So if we were to play the drums or to pat the beat for these different measures, usually the first note of the measure is going to feel stronger than the other beats. So for example, I might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and strong, weak, 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 strong, weak, 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 strong and weak and weak and weak and. Alright, so meter is how many beats are in each measure, organized by strong and weak beats, and the measures are the short sections separated by the bar lines. Now we also need to review the time signature. Time signature is a music symbol that tells you what is the meter, tells you how many beats are in the measure. You will see a time signature at the start of every song or every section of a song. Whenever the time signature changes or the meter changes, you'll see a new time signature. The time signature looks like a fraction, but it doesn't have a line in the middle. So these are examples of time signatures. This is called 4/4, 3/4, 6/8, 5/8. You can have a lot of different combinations of numbers because you can have a lot of different meters in your song. Breaking down the time signature further, let's talk about what each of those numbers mean. In a time signature, the top number tells you how many beats per measure. The bottom number tells you what kind of note gets 1 beat. The top number is how many beats. The bottom number is what kind of note gets 1 beat. So let's look over at 4/4. The top number is telling you there are 4 beats per measure, and the bottom number is telling you that a quarter note gets 1 beat. If we were to read this as a fraction, we might say 4/4 or 4 quarters. So the equivalent of 4 quarter notes. Let's look at the next one. 3/4 time. The top number is telling us that there are 3 beats per measure, and just like the one above, the bottom number tells us that the quarter note gets 1 beat. If we were to read this as a fraction, we might say 3/4 or 3 quarters. So we know that there are 3 quarter notes in every measure if we're in 3/4 time. Let's look at the bottom one. This one's different. This is 5/8 time. So the top number tells us that there are 5 beats per measure, and the bottom number tells us that the 8th note gets 1 beat. If we were to read this as a fraction, we would say 5/8. Every measure has 5/8 notes. This one is a kind of a tricky time signature, and we're going to have a song that'll give us some practice in 5/8 time coming up. So that's our review of time signatures in meter. Now it's time for some practice. Alright, it is time for a round of What's That Meter? I will play on the drums in a different meter every time, and your job is to guess which meter am I playing. You have several time signatures as choices. We have 3/4, 5/4, 6/8, 4/4, 7/4, 5/8, or 2/4. All you have to do is count how many notes am I playing in between strong beats. If I'm going faster, chances are it's going to be one of the meters that has an 8 on the bottom, because that means we're counting 8th notes. If I'm going slower, chances are it's going to be one of the time signatures that has a 4 on the bottom, because those are going to be the quarter note beats. Okay, here's the first one. Listen carefully, see if you can guess. What's that meter? If you said 4, 4, you were correct. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job if you got it right. 4, 4 is the most common meter, the most common time signature, and it is so common that back in the old days when classical composers wrote their music, they actually used the letter C to represent the meter of 4, 4, standing for common time, because it's the most common meter. All right? Now for a different one, what meter is this? Did you figure it out? If you said 6/8 meter, you are correct. 6/8 meter sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you might remember from our last video about meter that whenever you have a meter with an 8 on the bottom and the top number can be divided by 3, such as 6 divided by 2 equals 3, you will have, it'll feel like it's going to be more like, instead of being in 6, it's going to feel like 2 sets of 3. So it's going to sound more like 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a. So the 1 is still the strongest beat, but you'll find the fourth beat is kind of like a secondary strongish beat. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6/8. All right, here's the next one. Can you guess what's that meter? That one was 2, 4. If you said 2, 4, you are correct. We had 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good work. All right, here's the next one. What do you think? That was a tricky one. It could have been one of 2 different options, but that was a meter of 5, 4. We had 5 quarter notes. All right, here's another one. Did you guess 3, 4? If you did, you are correct. We had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, couple more. Which meter is this? Did you guess 5/8? If so, you are correct. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we have a meter of 5, whether it's 5, 4 or 5, 8, a lot of times it will be divided into like a 2 plus 3 or a 3 plus 2. So we had, in that case, we had 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You could have also had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the next one, it's going to be tricky. See if you can figure it out. Use all of your brain power to figure out what could this last beat possibly be. What is the meter? Let's find out. Well, what do you think? What could it be? What was that meter? If you guessed 7/4, you were exactly right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent work. I hope you got them all right. If you were a little bit confused between the 5/4 and the 5/8, that's understandable. I hope you can understand what the top number and the bottom number tell you, and as we go throughout the year, we will be doing more with meters and learning to read notes in different rhythms. So I hope you have a great day. Nice job. Till next time, this is Mr. McGraw. See you later.